Hey everybody, this is Candace of the Loving You Lifestyle, and I am back with another video. So, welcome back to my channel. I hope all of you all are doing well. I am having a great day today. Didn't really go as planned, but now I'm very, very relaxed. I had a situation today. The weather here in Istanbul was crazy today. Like, it hailed like real life hailstorm with ice cubes falling from the sky today. It was so crazy. If you're following me on Instagram or Facebook, you can go to my story or my IGTV and you can see the videos of this hailstorm that I'm talking about because it was so crazy. Like people were like trapped in buildings. They were having buckets on their heads so they could get to their cars. It was so crazy. But anyways, now I am relaxed and just here to talk to you all about the art of being unbothered. So this is going to be a femininity self mastery series that I'm going to be doing on the art of being unbothered. Part one video I already made. And I think that this is an important topic to talk about because it keeps on coming up. And I realize that feminine self mastery is a big component of femininity. We talk about there's so many different sectors of femininity and so many different ways we can use our femininity to enhance our lives. So this particular series, again, is going to just deal on feminine self mastery and the art of being unbothered. So what do I mean when I say being unbothered? So, being unbothered doesn't actually mean that you are never ever bothered by things. But what it really means is that you have developed a certain level of self mastery in which you needn't respond to every little thing and give away your precious time and energy. And I think that once you reach that level, you can maintain a certain level of grace and poise no matter what situation you find yourself in. So, number one, being unbothered starts with understanding what is and is not within your control. So, what are the things that you can control? You can control your choices, your beliefs, your efforts, your words, your boundaries. That's something I've really been working on this year because I realized that I still have areas with that I need to grow. And this year exposed some of my weak areas. So yeah, your boundaries. You can control the way you respond to things, your attitude, the way you feel, your actions, your thoughts, who you choose to allow in your life. That's a big one. Where you where you choose to focus your attention, you can control how you treat others, how you allow others to treat you, how and where you spend your money, how and where you spend your time. So those are some of the things that we can start with when it comes to being unbothered. In the end, the only person that you can control in any situation is yourself. You can't control other people, the way that they respond, the things that they say and do. And so when you focus on that, you have really grasped the heart of being an unbothered feminine woman. So, number two, I think we need to realize that sometimes it's not even about you. Sometimes people will say or do things because they have something else going on inside of them. They might have personal problems, relationship problems going on, inner sadness, self esteem issues, work problems, emotional or mental health issues that have absolutely nothing to do with you. And so, if you are the type of woman that you are easily triggered, you take every little thing personal, then you are going to stay in emotional upheaval and be bothered all the time. Um, and I think too, really, when you're easily triggered, it's a signal and you're like that bothered by everything and take everything personal, it could signal some underlying self-esteem work that you might need to do because that's excessive to be that sensitive. And that's actually um, what I would call unhealthy feminine. Like if you're overly sensitive, that's unhealthy feminine realm. And this kind of leads to a few other things. Well, I'm not going to backtrack. I'll go with my list. So we have number three. Um, Stop complaining all the darn time. Oh my goodness, this is a big one. So stop complaining, ladies, all the darn time. The more you complain, the more things you will find to complain about. Being in a habit of complaining leaves you in a space where you always see the glass half empty and you're always seeing the bad in every little thing. And what I've noticed is that those who are, excuse me, chronic complainers, they almost never see how negative they are. And they also don't really seem to see how they always see the bad in things. They just normally say they're being realistic. But no, like deep down you're negative and you're a complainer. Women who are chronic complainers, and this takes some real honesty to look at yourself and say, you know what, I do complain all the time. But women who are chronic complainers should do periods of feminine silence in which they take vows of silence to get in touch with their heart space and think about how they use their words and voice intonation to communicate. Now, I have spoken about feminine silence in the past. And so, feminine silence is a very useful tool, and you can use it in a variety of ways. Feminine silence is not the silent treatment. I want to be crystal clear about that. It is absolutely not the silent treatment. But feminine silence, again, is a very useful tool for our femininity, and we can use it in a variety of ways to enhance ourselves. And so, if you find yourself um, where you're always complaining, always talking about negative things, you definitely need to use this tool to get in touch again with your heart space and just really think about your the way you use your voice and your words. When you gain control of complaining and your verbal diarrhea, you can better choose when to speak up for actual grievances and when to stay silent for things that are trivial. You can also take more responsibility for your vibration and how your energy affects others. And for those of you who are married, ladies, I can guarantee you, if you are a chronic complainer, you are probably driving your husband bananas. And I know somebody's probably going to listen to this and get mad, but it's the truth. You're probably getting on your husband's nerves, and you're probably a woman that's not creating very much peace in your home, and so your silent voice will probably be welcome in your home because sometimes you're so sloppy with your energy and your voice and your words, and you are just to- totally out of the loop as to how you really are affecting the energy in your own home. That when you're finally silent enough to get into that really deep, feminine, meditative space, you can actually change the energy in your house, recalibrate the energy in your house, and start over again. And it will be much appreciated. Men definitely need a certain level of peace in their homes, and men also definitely need a certain level of appreciation. And when you're constantly complaining about every little thing, you just make him feel like he's just permanently wrong and like he can't do anything right. And that can cause problems and cause blocks for communication in your relationship. So definitely want to pull out the feminine silence if you are sloppy with your energy in that way. So moving on to tip number four, energy cleanse and clearings. This is something that I am very adamant about and I do regularly is cleanse my energy. I do this a lot, especially if I feel like I've been around people that are negative, people that are low vibrational, people that have a dark energy. I will definitely do an energy cleanse. I'll tell you a little something. There is an area in Istanbul, and I'm very highly sensitive I'm spiritually sensitive and I pick up energy really quickly. Even when I was doing eyebrows in my salon, I would do energy cleanses because I dealt with so many people all the time that I would have to literally cleanse at least once a week because I'm touching a lot of people and I'm talking to a lot of people, and a lot of people would, dump their problems on me when they would come to me. And so I found myself always having to do cleanses. Now that I'm in Istanbul, excuse me, now that I'm in Istanbul, I there is an area of town called Taksim Square, which some of you may have heard about. And in that area, not the entire area, but there is a section of the Taksim Square where there's just a lot of I'll just say this, it's not the most desirable area. There's a lot going on there, and at night it can be dangerous, and people have said, like, if especially if you're a woman, you shouldn't be in that area at night alone, etc. When I go there, I never feel at ease. Like, I always feel like something can jump off at any second. And so I'm always hyper aware, but really only in that area. And there are sadly a lot of homeless people, a lot of beggars, a lot of children begging, which is really, really crazy and heartbreaking to see. Um, but the energy is just not right in that area. And so sometimes when I'm in that area after I leave, I feel like I need to cleanse because I can pick up that the energy there is so low vibrational. But make sure that you're doing regular energetic cleanses. It's going to be essential for your femininity and being unbothered. Sage burning, prayer, if you don't believe in sage burning, and of course, any tips that I give that are not in alignment with your spiritual practices, please just dismiss those and take what can work for you and run with it. But sage burning is something that I do on a regular basis, and I'll sage my whole house while I pray. Prayer, yoni steaming is good for cleansing, especially if you are sexually active, especially if you're sexually active with different men. Yoni cleansing and steaming is actually a great way to rid your body of the energy because sex is more than just physical pleasure and orgasms. Orgasms are vibration, they are energy, and its energy is neither lost nor destroyed, but it's transferred. So there is an energetic transfer that happens with sex. And if you're having sex, multiple partners, you definitely need to cleanse yourself so that you can um, shake off any negative energy associated with that person. As it relates to sex in particular, if you find yourself being stuck on a particular person, like you can't shake that person emotionally or let go, it may be because you are sexually, chemically, energetically bound to that person, and you definitely need to do a yoni steam. So just evaluate yourself and where you're at, um, and then and I recommend you doing the steams. Let's see. Removing physical items. So if you maybe I know you have like a box of gifts from an ex-boyfriend, and you're having a hard time getting over them, or whatever the case may be, just throw it out. I know when I got divorced, like I threw everything out, including I got a new mattress, I got a new everything. Like if he even looked at it too long, like I threw it in the garbage because I needed to clear the energy and make room for new energy. Build a wall, and I'm not talking about a physical wall, of course. I'm talking about either a pretend barrier of just an imaginary barrier between you and whatever it is that's creating an energy block or is disturbing your energy. So it's kind of funny because sometimes when my friend and I are walking in Istanbul, people will come up and try like selling us things or talking to us, and guys will try to come up and talk to us because we're foreign women. And she will get really involved, and one day emotionally involved, and like kind of like tell them off and tell them to stop talking to us. And it's kind of funny because she asked me, she's like, You always remain so peaceful and calm. How do you do that? I'm like, I literally don't even see those people when they're talking to me. Like, I just ignore them because I know deep down inside that the energy that it would take to tell them off, to get sucked into something negative, is not even worth my peace. So for me, it's easier for me to create a barrier because literally, like, they're only going to be there for like what, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, what, however many seconds they'll be there before they get the hint, like, oh, she doesn't want to talk to me, and they'll just keep it moving. So I don't even give them the chance to transfer energy with me. I just build that imaginary wall and keep it moving. So sometimes you have to know you will have to do that. Love people from a distance. You really have to. This goes back to knowing what is in your control. You are in complete control about who you allow in your life. This includes family members too. Some people in your life, you have to make the choice to love them at a distance because they simply do not have it to love you the way that you want to be loved and treated, or they just do not want to treat you the way you need to be treated and loved. And no matter what the case is, again, you have choices. And if you want to maintain your peace and your unbothered state, you're going to have to love them at a distance. It can be a difficult choice to make, but it is what it is. Reevaluate your tribe. And this kind of goes into loving people at a distance, but periodically you need to kind of reevaluate your core friends, um, your core tribe members, to see if they still need to be in your tribe, if they are where they need to be. And of course, this doesn't mean that as soon as somebody is going through something that's negative, that you just kick them to the curb and don't offer support. But I mean, if they've shifted to the point where they're just no longer on the same path as you, and they create more havoc than not, or they're just not in alignment with where you are anymore, you have to evaluate that. Number five, stop being defensive. Being defensive means that you don't want to take the time to evaluate yourself. When you are overly defensive, this means that you don't want to hear what someone else has to say about your life, and you're not ready to receive how your actions and your words affect other people. That's what being in a state of defensiveness means. And when you are in a state of defense, you're going to attack, a verbal attack, or you're going to become passive aggressive. And at any rate, it's going to keep you bothered. So you need to check yourself if you find yourself being overly defensive. Number six, take things with a grain of salt. I think that's, you know, pretty much self-explanatory, but don't take everything so seriously. Just take what you can glean, keep it moving, and that's the best thing that you can do. Number seven. Number seven. This is a good one, ladies, and this is a big one too. You don't have to be right in public. It's okay to let people think they're right and to know you're right. It just is. And once you learn how to do that and keep your mouth closed, I want you to see how wonderful your life will become when you realize you don't have to verbally respond to every single thing that's said. Number eight, create an energetic force field. This kind of goes into building a wall, but this is a little bit deeper component of being unbothered. Creating an energetic force field means that you're so secure in your energy is the one who shifts the room versus versus other people's energy always quickly shifting you. And you have a force field around you so that when you are around people that are low vibrational, you don't take on their energy as quickly. And the more you grow and the more you do your feminine practices, this will become easier to do. If you are energetically sloppy, this is going to be really difficult thing for you to do, but you can master it with time. You have to be consciously aware and just understand that as you're growing, don't beat yourself up through your process. Just note it, Journal how you feel when you're around certain people and evaluate what you were feeling and thinking during those times, and just reflect on why you were feeling the way that you were feeling. And then what you will notice is that over time your energetic force field will become stronger. Number 9, create a beautiful, feminine, and peaceful environment. Build yourself a prayer or meditation room, or a prayer or meditation corner. Or if you're into building altars, you can build yourself an altar in your room, or in your home. Make sure that your house is full of fresh flowers, candles, good smells, whatever it is that creates a pleasing ambiance. That's what you need to do. That will help keep you calm and in a good mood, and in a place where you can, readily um, meditate on the things that you need to meditate on, and that you can shift into your energy and create a stronger force field. Number 10, deal with your own issues. Sometimes, this is what I've realized in life, that sometimes people are bothered all the time because deep down they are projecting their own negativity and issues onto others, which leaves them always being overly emotional and negative and just bothered about things that are outside of themselves. So, those types of people, a lot of times they're running from themselves. It's easier to complain about everything than to get quiet and get real about your own life. So if you know that that's you, I'm going to just ask you to do the hard work so that you can move to a better place. Number 11, pick your battles. Your energy and your time is so valuable. They are so valuable, ladies. They are like, you cannot get your time back. I am so big on that. For me, time is money. I don't like to waste time. I love to maximize my time. And so I don't like dealing with people who waste my time. That is just, I cannot do that. So your energy and your time are so valuable. So why would you waste them on frivolous situations? Especially when you have so many choices in life. I mean, life presents you so many beautiful choices. So why would you know, choose to fight fights that you don't have to unnecessarily. So pick your battles, decide what your priorities are, decide what's important to you, and then the rest just let it go. This is especially important in relationships, because in relationships there's always going to be some kind of conflict. And so if you have, just for an example, you have a great man who does everything, but he leaves the toilet seat up, and that drives you bananas. Okay, are you going to drive him bananas over the toilet seat when he does everything else right? Just close the darn toilet seat. I mean, that's just like a simple example, but what I'm saying is just learn to pick the battles that you're really going to fight for, and the rest, like I said, just let it go. Number 12, which is the last tip in the art of being unbothered, and that is get yourself some business. Get yourself some business, ladies. Stay busy, positive, active, work on your body goals, join social networking clubs, write down a list of things that you would like to accomplish, a bucket list. Dream big, write down your wildest dreams, create a vision board, focus on fulfilling your purpose in life, volunteer, go on a date with your husband, rebuild your hypergamous dating roster, declutter. You can start an additional stream of income, join a COVID friendly activity, learn a new language. I mean, the bottom line is that there are a million and one things that can keep you happy, positive, busy, and unbothered. And so if you find yourself in that state, it really falls back on you. It's the way that you are choosing to live your life. And the great thing about it is that you can make different choices starting today. So I hope that my 12 tips helped you on your way to being an unbothered and feminine woman. I would love to hear how you enjoyed this video in the comment section. Of course, I'm going to invite you to now like this video, subscribe, and please share this video with other ladies that you know need to hear this message. because I know there are a lot of us out there. And then I'm going to invite you to follow me on Instagram so you can see more of my journey in Istanbul, Turkey. And you can also subscribe to my other channel, my other YouTube channel, where you can actually see my journey here in Istanbul, Turkey. I want all of you to have a beautiful day, evening, wherever you all are on the planet. You take care and stay blissfully feminine. Ciao.